Alright. What's going on, people of the internet? I'm Bocephus. Today's a new day, and we are back with some more free Steam games that have recently dropped. This one is called Prison of Lies, and I'm pretty sure what you're supposed to do is there are 4 people set on death row, and you are supposed to decide which one dies. Which is pretty dark, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Prison of Lies. Alright, what we got? Options. Yeah, music a little loud. Alright. Here we go. Prison of Lies. Ah, there we go. 4 prisoners on death row have been cleared of all charges. Oh, wait, what? However, this year, the quota for executions at the prison is 100. So far, there have been 99 executions. Well, that sucks. And it's December 31st. Wow. The innocent prisoners have been locked in a room. All of them have been fitted with a lie detector. They each must make the case for their life. They have an hour to decide which one of them will die. Alright. Oh, hello. Warden. I know this must seem harsh, but we're really in a bind here. One of you must die, after all. We simply have to meet the quota of our government funding or our government funding is cut. I'm very sorry about this. The reason why I thought you all should be the ones to decide is that it seems fairer to me than a judge or an independent body making the call. Of course, in the event of a tie, we will execute 2 prisoners and exceed expectations. There we go. I want all of you to be satisfied with your final choice, to feel like you made the right decision, to feel like you got a fair shake. Well, this sucks. Oh, hello. That's why I'm introducing these lie detectors. Ah! Oh gosh, I pressed the wrong button. Okay. Oh, I didn't even get to read that. Alright. I have to have a talk based on solely truth. When someone is lying, it will beep and make a fuss. Like this. I am an elephant. Okay. So whenever it does that, someone's lying. Cool, cool. Ho ho ho, you see? No, gosh. So please, have an honest conversation. Good luck. And remember, be respectful of one another. Don't talk to each other like you're hardened criminals. Because everyone in this room has been found innocent. Oh, that's a lie. No, ooh, someone is very much guilty. Alright. See you in an hour. We stared at the door in stunned silence. Prisoner J. Did that mean what we thought it meant? We were all afraid to speak. And yet, time was ticking on. Reached the first mark. Chapter 1. The hour mark. Okay. I'm pretty sure there's 4 chapters to this game, and I've heard it's a pretty quick game, so this shouldn't take me more than an hour. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Prisoner E.
Okay, what was that? Is he saying one of us is actually guilty?
Prisoner Q. Yes. That's what he must have meant. It's troubling.
Prisoner J. What are you talking about, Q? This is great! The whole reason we're in here is basically to sentence an innocent person to death. But the one just inadvertently revealed that one of us isn't actually innocent. If we can just figure out who that is, that person will be the obvious choice.
Oh, I hadn't thought about it like that, I guess. Prisoner V. You're getting ahead of yourself, Jay. Remember his precise wording. Everyone in this room has been found innocent. We know he was lying when he said that, but that doesn't necessarily mean one of us is guilty.
I don't get it. There's nothing else that could mean, right?
No. It was the way he phrased it. Since he was in the room at the time, when he said, in this room.
That could just mean it was a lie because the one himself hasn't been found innocent, because he's never committed a crime.
Exactly.
Oh, well.
What voice did I do for you? Does this mean we're going to have to sentence an innocent person to death after all?
To be honest, I don't give a crap, as long as it's not me. This place has put me through heck for nothing.
I would like to ask everyone, Do they agree with V? Was the warden's lie that he, being among those present in the room, was never convicted and then found innocent of a crime?
Yeah. I think that as soon as we get it into our heads that we'll be executing an innocent person, the better. Because then, it just becomes about winning the personality Olympics. And as you can see, I'm competing on a national level. Yeah, I agree. Let's not get into this suspecting one another of not actually being innocent. I believe in my heart that all of you are innocent, and that's what counts.
Oh boy. Oh, my throat. Sorry. Personally, I was conflicted, but you have all convinced me. Let's move on and formally introduce ourselves. I'm Q. I've been on death row for 6 years, okay? I was charged with being an accomplice to murder. Oh my goodness. What happened was that I was in the backseat of my car, waiting to pick up my friend, A. What I didn't know was that A had just murdered his narcotics dealer. Okay, well, she's not lying. I became an unwitting getaway driver. I had no evidence that I wasn't aware of his crime. Okay, that's starting to beat a little bit. But he had evidence that his shirt was covered in blood when he got back in the car. He claimed there was no way I could have missed the blood. Both of us ended up on death row. He was executed last year. I was found innocent when the court re-reviewed my case. A detective proved that A had worn the shirt backwards in order to conceal the blood from me. Feel free to ask me any questions you want.
How'd you prove that?
A traffic cam photo showed the shirt tag poking out below his neck.
Did you know the narcotics dealer?
I did not know him. How did you feel about his crime? Horrible. Murdering someone is an unforgivable crime. I'm actually in favor of the death penalty, ironically. I was glad when he died.
Well, no lies there. Q clearly did nothing wrong in that case. We'd have to dig deeper to uncover a reason why she should be executed.
I agree. I will go next. I'm V. I've been here for 1 year. I was charged with murder. Oh, why are you lying about that? That's a stupid thing to lie about.
Wow!
Just seeing if it still worked. The truth is that I was involved in a robbery. I broke the window to get inside, and shot at someone and missed. Oh. Apparently attempted murder was a state capital offense in 2009. But it's not anymore. I don't think I deserve to be executed. I learned from my mistake. I never wanted to shoot anyone again.
What'd you steal?
I didn't get a chance to steal anything. Police arrived on the scene immediately. It happened so fast. Where'd you get the gun? I bought it. They're easy to buy, and I had no prior convictions.
The only conviction here is the conviction I have that you are innocent.
Oh, Jesus.
We're all innocent, Jay. Do we have to have this conversation again? Sorry. Oh, wait, no, I had wrong voice.
My throat.
I'm dying, sorry. Anyway, I'll go next. I'm me. I was accused of shooting at a police officer.
Oh, wow.
However, I did not. I did, however, witness the officer who accused me tasing the defenseless suspect to death.
Whoa.
And also, I had a gun on me at the time. It was easy to pin that false story on me. Who would doubt the word of someone in a blue uniform? He got to keep his job, and I've been stuck on death row for 8 years. Recently, an activist group called Free From Death funded a reinvestigation of my case. They found that the original investigation had been incredibly biased. What a shock. Anyway, that's why I'm here. Personally, I think we should decide who gets to live based on who's had to be in here the longest. What do you guys think?
Interesting. I would have no problem with that. Hold on a minute. We should be judging the merits of the person, not how long they've been in prison.
Of course you would say that. 1 year, was it? Aha! Guys, let me put an end to this right away. I've also been here for only 1 year, so that doesn't help you decide. But you both can't have been here for exactly the same amount of time.
Splitting hairs now. How long is enough? 11 months? 13 months?
True. I'm not gonna... I'm not gonna say how long I've been here, and neither will V.
I guess you're right. We should focus on who the person is. Ugh. No, excuse me.
Fine. But I clearly deserve to live more than any of you.
Oh, wow, okay.
I know saying that doesn't win me any points, but it's how I feel. And you know that's true because the lie detector isn't going off.
Well, we haven't heard from Jay yet. Right now, I agree with you that you deserve to be saved the most, E. But maybe that will change.
Fair enough. What's your story, Jay?
Don't change the subject, E. I still have some questions.
Go ahead.
How did you know the suspect that got tased was defenseless?
Didn't try defending himself.
Very well. Isn't tasing non-lethal? How come the person being tased died?
Tasing can be lethal if the victim has certain medical conditions. I forget what those are, but he might have had one.
But does it really make sense to blame the police officer in this case? They were detaining a suspect.
Did you miss the part where the suspect didn't defend himself? Or when the cop falsely accused me of shooting at him, sending me to death row for 8 years for nothing?
Fair enough. Kind of quick to defend a police officer, aren't you, V? It's how I was raised to be. I do see abuse by police officers, but I think there are lots of good cops too.
This isn't about good cop, bad cop. It's a systemic issue. Anyway, we don't have time for this right now. Do you have any other questions?
No. Go ahead, Jay.
I'm Jay, as you know. The reason I'm on death row is pretty weird. Did you know that treason is a federal capital offense? And one of the definitions of treason is giving aid and shelter to an enemy of the United States? So, a funny thing happened on my trip to South Korea. What? Oh boy, I hope this won't take too long. The short version is, I smuggled a few cans of ocean-fresh melonberry juice into North Korea. What? Now, you can't actually be convicted of treason unless you have 2 witnesses, or you confess. I confess, because I knew it was wrong of me to smuggle 2 cans of ocean-fresh melonberry into North Korea. And so, I wound up here on death row. What?
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Yeah! It's so ridiculous, and yet the lie detector isn't going off, so it must be true. And how are you cleared of your charges, Jay?
Because it turns out that specific kind of juice, ocean-fresh melonberry, is actually in North Korea. They reopened my case, then the judge decided that since I was giving people in North Korea something they already had, it wasn't really aid. Who are you giving the ocean-fresh melonberry to? Well, my friend in South Korea has relatives in North Korea. That's who it was.
She gives me Harley Quinn vibes, that's why I'm doing this very crazy voice.
Alright. In my opinion, Jay should be executed.
Wow, that was fast.
Everyone else has faced a grievously serious hardship. Jay's reason for being here is nothing but a bad soap opera shenanigans.
You really want to execute someone over ocean-fresh melonberry smuggling? Wouldn't that just heighten the absurdity of Jay's situation? She suffered on death row for a year over something so insane. That puts her further down my list, personally.
Just trying to find a foothold. We need some reason to execute one of us. We're almost at the half-hour mark. Oh my gosh. There has to be some criteria we can measure this off of, right? Hair color?
Hearing everyone's stories, I admit I don't know who to vote for. Everyone's managed to be truthful. And all we seem to have been charged with fairly innocuous crimes. I don't want to execute anyone based on just an hour of getting to know them. I don't care what the warden says. This seems deeply unfair. This seems unfair, but maybe it doesn't have to be. We failed to put to good use an important tool that the warden gave us, the lie detector. I'm not sure what you mean, V. I've heard your stories about your convictions, but that doesn't tell me everything. I came in knowing you were found innocent, but that doesn't mean you are innocent. In order to claim you are innocent, in general, you have to truly believe that you've never done anything horribly wrong. Oh, okay. This would be a very clear litmus test. If we all fail, we could think of something else. I wouldn't bring it up if I didn't think I had a 100% chance of success.
I can imagine that would help. Even you must feel guilty about something, V. That's human nature.
Is it? Maybe you only think that because you yourself feel guilty about something, E.
Alright then, prove it.
Very well. I am innocent. See? Not lying. Your turn.
What? Is the lie detector broken? I am an elephant. Guess not. Very well. I never back down from a challenge. I am innocent. Innocent? Innocent, gosh.
Well, maybe it's phrased a little vaguely. I am innocent. It works. How about you, Jay? Crap, how was I supposed to do this? Nobody on the planet really believes they are fully innocent. Everyone must have something they're guilty about, right? I knew I did. But since it worked for them, maybe it would work for me too. I just had to force myself to believe it. Oh wait, oh, that's the wrong voice. That's Jay, okay.
Alright. I am innocent.
Huh?
I am innocent. What? It must be wrong. Help! I'm doing this for no reason. I can't stop it. I'm not lying.
Uh-oh.
Wow. Is it too late to resurrect that guilty one among us theory?
It was a good idea, V. Who knew that such a simple question would trip Jay so badly? She's clearly hiding something.
I'm not hiding anything.
You could eliminate all suspicion if you just tell us what you feel guilty about.
There's nothing to say. I'm telling the truth. Wow, you didn't even need the full hour. I think we should vote right away.
We shouldn't rush this. It is her life, after all. I have a different idea. We'll sit here and wait until Jay decides to be fully honest with us. You have 35 minutes to think about this, Jay.
Fine. If that's what you guys want.
Then that's what we'll do. Ooh, I need a drink. My goodness.
Over the next 5 minutes, I kept hoping someone would change their mind about me. I couldn't help but feel like I'd fallen into a trap. The main issue was I hadn't always been such a great person. But I had been forgiven for my mistakes, and I thought that I had forgiven myself. Apparently not. Suspicion is powerful. Once it starts, it's hard to escape it. I was afraid that I still would not be believed, but seeing as my life was on the line, I had to try. Fine. It's hard for me to say that I am an innocent person, because I basically destroyed my own life. I abused every substance you could think of, but most of all, I abused myself for it. That's the reason why I couldn't say I'm innocent.
Well, you're lying about that, Jay. You're not doing so great. There she goes again.
Don't you get it? I'll never be able to cover everything I think I'm guilty of. It would take more than an hour. Why won't you trust me when I say I'm a good person?
No, she doesn't. She thinks she's lying about being a good person.
That's why. There must be something you're hiding. It was worth a shot. Did I really have to go through my entire life to save it? There were a lot of things I didn't want to revisit. How could you possibly judge all of that within an hour? And yet it seemed like everyone else had made up their minds.
Oh. 10 minutes later. Oh, 15 minutes later.
Oh, 22 minutes later. 26 minutes later. Oh my goodness, it's 1 o'clock. The rest of the time passed in uncomfortable silence. Nobody met my eyes, except E. But they were cold. I felt extremely alone. First I had been caught up in the ridiculous North Korea thing. Now this. It just wasn't fair. I had done nothing to deserve it. Maybe I hadn't been witty enough. Maybe there had been a way to avoid saying I'm innocent. Maybe I should have attempted going over my whole life. But then again, this wasn't entirely about me. It was about them. They needed someone to execute. Nobody seemed to deserve it. Maybe they knew in their hearts that I was actually innocent. They just needed someone to take the fall. That's what I chose to believe. Anything else, I would have been too depressing. It was already feeding my guilt even more. By the time we entered our votes, I was ready to die.
Well, 3 prisoners voted for J. Oh, there goes J, I guess. 1 prisoner voted for E. Okay, well, J voted for E then. J was executed on January 1st, 2011. Crap, that's it? Wow, alright. But she wasn't the guilty one. Oh. She wasn't the guilty one, huh? Was that... You were executed. Try again. Okay. Death is just the beginning. Well, obviously that's not the end, because it has me trying again. And, you know, there's 4 chapters.
Suddenly, I got the strangest feeling that I was about to do something wrong. Everyone else had been able to say they were innocent, but it might have been different for me. Did I really believe I was innocent myself? I didn't really know the answer. But if I wasn't able to answer this question, that would look really suspicious. There had to be something I could do to beat the lie detector. I remembered something about people learning to fool lie detectors before. Stupid brain. Why couldn't it just work? Okay. Maybe there was a way to rephrase the question. No, that would just look suspicious. I racked my brains, searching for the answer. When I finally thought of something. The reason the lie detector goes off is because you know the words you're saying are a lie. But what if there was a disconnect between what you said and what you actually believed? What if what you were saying was technically true? But could it be misinterpreted by other people to be something else? And what if that something else was a lie? A half-truth? Could this be it? There was only one way to find out.
Oh. Half-truth construction. Half-truth selected. What? By I don't mean myself. By I mean a company called I. By am, I mean I self-identify as. By am, I mean I exist. Oh, okay. A company called I. I am. I mean I exist. By innocent, I mean not guilty. Innocent, I mean cleared of all charges. Innocent, I mean naive. Cool. Oh, I can. Okay. This one, I just. Yeah. There we go. What do you mean? What's happening? Oh. Never mind. There we go, alright. Hello? Oh. By innocent, I mean cleared of charges. Huh. Alright.
Ah, of course. Even if I didn't believe I was innocent, generally speaking, I was still cleared of all my charges. If I thought about it like that, then saying I am innocent would be true. The only problem was making sure that would be what I was thinking, and that other thoughts didn't slip into my brain. It would take a lot of focus, but it was worth a try. I am innocent. I was cleared of all charges.
Lying is an art form. You lied. Well, that's everyone. I guess we'll have to come up with another way to figure out who to execute.
It had worked. I almost couldn't believe it. I felt like I just barely avoided disaster. But time was ticking on, and I had to come up with a whole new plan. Or I would end up on the chopping block. Fortunately, I discovered a new ability. I had a feeling it would be very useful.
Alright. Mark 2. Reach the second mark. Chapter 2. Half hour. Well then. Save? Sure. Why not? Wow, that's a lot of save slots. Alright. On we go.
Okay, we've got only 30 minutes to figure this out. Your I am innocent plan didn't seem to help very much, V.
All of us are innocent people. I don't buy it. Then what was the point of doing that? It's time to do the hard work of judging character. To me, there's only one person who's been nothing but aggressive and cranky this whole time. E.
Knock it off. You don't scare me. Do you think I'm going to play nice now? As I said, I was in here for 8 years. That's the better part of a decade.
You think that makes you special? You were probably in your 30s when you got in. What value would you have been offering society?
What are you talking about? I was a dishwasher.
Exactly. While you were washing dishes, I was a criminal defense lawyer, working for free. Don't you think that makes me a little more valuable to the rest of society?
What kind of criminal defense lawyer hangs with people who know narcotics dealers?
That's true. I think you just answered your own question.
I was still in college, so I can't say I was helping society all that much.
Did you donate to charity at all?
I thought about whether or not to use my newfound ability, but figured it would be put to better use somewhere else. Nah.
I didn't donate to charity, however, I devoted myself to community volunteer work often.
Well, aren't you an angel? This doesn't seem to be getting us anywhere.
Yes, it does. The value of volunteer work vastly outweighs dishwashing. And being a college student isn't particularly valueless. Participating in our broken education system is an important thing to do. The only one here who doesn't seem to have contributed anything of value to society is you, E.
Calm down, you think you have me in a corner? Far from it. If you'll recall, I only said that I was dishwashing at the time when I was incarcerated. I was washing dishes for an upscale restaurant, which is part of my transition from my last job, a volunteer chef at a soup kitchen. My real passion has always been cooking.
Very well. You could have said that earlier. I'm not sure you have much standing in this area, Q. Don't criminal defense lawyers typically help criminals get out of prison sentences? As I'm sure you're aware, V, it's unfair to label everyone who goes to prison as a criminal. It's true that criminal defense lawyers sometimes have to represent people that they know probably aren't innocent. However, you have to trust the system.
Well, I don't. I'm not thrilled to find out you're a lawyer either, Q. Did you think that would make a room full of prisoners like you? It was my defense lawyer that screwed up and got me put away in the first place when I was innocent. What do you mean, E? You don't know if Q is a terrible lawyer or not. Maybe she was able to prevent situations like ours. We don't know. Easy way to find out. Q, are you a terrible lawyer?
I'm not a terrible lawyer.
Well, she believes it anyway.
If that's really true, then I guess the person who added least to society here really was Jay. It's hard to argue she added more to society than any of us as a college student. Is there anything you can think of that you did that valued society as a whole, Jay? Would this be a good time to use my ability? It certainly would make me look better. However, it would be tricky to even come up with examples of things I'd done to help society. I had been pretty selfish, but did that make me worthy of being executed? Was there some way to keep the conversation from being focused around my failures? Nothing's coming to mind. Give me a second. Any volunteer work?
This would be a good time to use my ability. I just hoped I wouldn't dig an even deeper hole for myself. Yes!
I once volunteered to look after my friend's cat. Care to elaborate?
I did volunteer work for 2 or 3 hours a day. I was going to need more details. Fortunately, my volunteer work had plenty of material for half-truths.
Alright. By I was looking after, I mean I was looking at. By I was looking after, I mean I was in the same room with him. Okay. By someone, I mean someone famous. By someone, I mean myself. By someone, I mean my friend's cat. By someone, I mean a cardboard cutout shaped like a person who was disabled. By who was disabled, I mean they had poor vision. By someone who was disabled, I mean they were missing their claws. By who was disabled, I mean their legs had gone to sleep. By who was disabled, I mean who was disabled? Nobody, that's who. Okay, I think that... Oh, I do have to choose two. Okay. There we go. I was looking after... By someone, I mean my friend's cat, who was disabled. I mean they were missing their claws. Ha! Alright.
Yeah, this would work. But I needed something else to really sell it.
Oh. My duties included feeding and bathing them. Yeah, no, that's definitely not it. By including feeding and bathing, I mean could include feeding and bathing. By could feeding and bathing, I mean feeding myself and bathing myself. By could feeding and bathing, I mean feeding them air and bathing them with adoration. Oh, that's not it. Alright. I mean a cat. There you go. Perfect.
I was looking after someone who's disabled. The cat had been declawed. My duties include feeding them and bathing them. My duties include feeding the cat and bathing the cat.
Looking after disabled people is certainly something that benefits society.
Great, so now what? I hate finding out how wonderful everyone here is. We're about 40 minutes in and getting nowhere fast. I say we go back to my original plan again. We should all vote J or V. Both of them only spent a year in here. I think I've made up my mind on this. I don't really care what anyone else says. That's the best way to decide.
Well, that is a good point. The idea is starting to grow on me, especially since we're running out of time and nobody has come up with a better idea. Am I gonna vote again?
E was quickly becoming my biggest threat. If she managed to convince Q that it was between me and V, there were a few scenarios, and none of them looked good. Scenario 1, the best outcome. Both E and Q voted for V. I vote for V. V votes for one of them. V is executed. Scenario 2, the second best outcome. If V and Q vote for both me and me and V both vote for the same person, either Q or E are executed. Which leaves only the worst outcome. E, Q, and V all vote for me. I am executed. The key to avoiding the worst outcome would be convincing V to not vote for me. But if she was convinced that E and Q would be deciding between the two of us, she would probably do what I would do in that case, vote for me to tip the balance away from herself. Assuming V would always vote for me, and assuming that I would vote for V left only one scenario in which I wasn't killed, if both V and Q voted for V. And the warden has specified that would happen if the vote was tied. We would both die.
Is something wrong, Jay? You look a little pale.
There was only one surefire way out of this: to use my ability, not to defend myself, but to attack. Out of all of us, E seemed the easiest to attack. She hadn't been making any friends with a cantankerous attitude. If I could convince V to vote for E instead of me, that left only one scenario where I would be killed. If both E and Q voted for me, creating a tie between me and E, much better odds. I just realized something, and I think it may be relevant. I had to smear E. It was the only option. V. By V, I mean the letter E. I mean E. Before, I mean in the past few minutes before I was charged with a crime. That one. Aha. I mean the letter E. I didn't like doing this to E, but I didn't have a choice. She existed. By charged with, I mean charged with electricity. By charged with, I mean given a task. By charged with, I mean accused of. By charged with, I mean charged by. Sure, accused. By something else, I mean something other. By something else, I mean eating ice cream. By something else, I mean taking care of a cat. By something else, I mean a curd mudge. What in the world is that? I don't even know what that is, but it works, I guess. I didn't know what would happen if they realized I was lying, but it couldn't be worse than the current situation, right? Oh. By she, I mean prisoner Q. By prisoner V. By was, I mean wasn't. By was, I mean she was before the what? Telling a half-truth. By lying, I mean she said she was voting for me. By lying, I mean she said she was in the Personality Olympics. Nope, that doesn't work. That one? The Personality Olympics. I've heard of E before. I've heard of the alphabet letter E before. She was cleared of all her death row crime charges, but she was charged with something else. But she was charged with being a curmudgeon by Q. She wasn't lying. She was lying when she was lying. She was lying when she said she was in the Personality Olympics. Well, you seem to be telling us the truth. What did you hear about E, Jay? On television, on Sesame Street. That's a mean thing to say, Q. I mean, Jay. That hurts my feelings.
It hurts your feelings? Wait a minute. Are you unable to completely deny Jay's claims, E?
Whoa, what was happening?
That's definitely suspicious.
Listen. Jay is lying. Uh-oh. I was never charged with any other crime. Dang it. I thought I could fool the lie detector if I shouted it out strongly enough. Guess I was wrong.
You have a lot to answer for, E, and you'd better have a good explanation. I thought I could trust you, E. I can't believe you tried to lie to us.
In my desperation, I stumbled upon something. Maybe there was an easy solution to this whole mess after all. The guilty among us theory was rearing its head again, and it looked like I wasn't the target. I'd managed to defend myself, but at what cost?
Oh, reached the third mark. Chapter 3, 10 minutes. Dun-dun-dun. I'm kind of liking this. It's a nice, easy little, novel type of game. It's a good story, too. Alright.
So you think you got me?
Well, it certainly seems like it.
I'm tougher than I look. You can't bring me down like this. I'll admit that what Jay claimed is true. I was cleared of all charges for my death row crime. However, prior to that, I was charged with neglecting to pay my rent. It was a bad month for me.
Is that everything you were charged with?
No. I was also charged with assault.
Assault? I think we'll need more details.
I spat at someone. Spitting on someone is assault, apparently.
That's true. Well, I can't say that it sounds that bad to me personally.
Great. Were we back at square one?
I disagree. Right now, we're in a precarious situation. We have less than 10 minutes left to decide who's going to die. Even a little negative, like spitting on someone, should count for something. We're running out of footholds. This can't be a random choice.
I agree, but to be fair to E, I don't think spitting on someone really merits much. However, there's someone here who shot at a police officer. Out of all of our stories, I think her paints her in the worst possible light. Oh, really? This is coming from the person stupid enough to send Jews to North Korea. Spare me, please spare me.
Thanks, E. Actually, I agree with Jay. V was charged with attempted murder, which is worse than any of us. She's only been cleared because of a technicality. It's been obvious all along.
Sorry about all this, V, but we've got to vote for somebody.
I understand. I understand the desire to vote for somebody, anybody. But please, believe me, I do not deserve to die.
You certainly seem to believe it yourself.
Please, trust me. You don't know the full truth.
What? Wait, you're not lying? So does that mean you have been lying?
Technically, I have not been lying. However, I have not been entirely forthcoming with information.
Kind of sounds like lying to me.
I cannot tell you exactly what I mean. For certain reasons.
Come on, what do you have to lose? This is getting annoying. It sounds like a trick. The thing you aren't telling us could be an awful crime that you committed.
I've never committed any crimes.
What?
But I thought you attempted murder. Or is that not a crime now? That is all I will tell you. Just please, think for a second about what I might be trying to say. Under what circumstances is shooting at someone not actually a crime? Self-defense?
Does she mean shooting in defense? But robbing a place was still a crime, so how could she have claimed to be innocent? I had no idea myself. I looked around at everyone, searching for a clue in their expressions. E's eyes had a glint. Well. I think I might know exactly what you're talking about, V. See if you can answer this question. Who were you shooting at?
I can't answer that question.
I thought so. Everyone, vote for V. What? She can't be trusted. She's been lying about who she is.
You've been pretty suspicious yourself, E. Even without taking your personality into account, you've lied and deflected. But I don't trust you.
Good to know. Q, you've been quick to change your mind about a number of things. Are you sure about anything? Or are you just weighing popular opinion and conforming to it?
If you're simply implying that makes me suspicious as opposed to open-minded, then I'll have to disagree.
Just an observation.
Jay, you've been letting yourself slip into the background for a while now. But looking back, a lot of your answers were strange. You've been kind of vague about a few things. And I find it incredibly hard to believe that story you told us about your crime was true. Did you leave anything out?
Of course there were parts I left out. I told you it's a long, boring story. Yeah, I'm voting for North Korea, girl. Either her or V.
I'm voting for you, E. I'm voting for J.
They weren't leaving me with much of a choice. I'm voting for V. If I do, E will be more likely to also vote for V, right, E? Possibly.
Vote for me, Jay. E's been rude to everyone this whole hour. I've changed my mind. I'm also voting for E. Don't know what I was thinking. She's the obvious choice.
You shouldn't do that. Remember the rule about ties? If me and Jay vote for you, and you and Q vote for me, then both me and you die.
True. Jay, vote for E.
I didn't know what to do at all. Stupid brain. I know that time's almost up, but look, here's my deal. E, if you tell me what V's secret is, I will vote with you. V, if you tell me what your secret is first, I'll vote for you.
Fine. My secret is that I wasn't a robber. I was an employee at the bank.
Oh! Wait, that changes everything. Why did they arrest you then? This isn't the whole truth though, V. I remember during her statement, Jay said I broke the window to get inside. How many bank break-ins involve breaking and entering through a window? Sounds more like a home invasion to me.
Not necessarily.
Well then, she should have no trouble clarifying. Was it a home invasion, V?
Fine. The incident where I fired my gun was a home invasion.
Wait, then what was she hiding? V was never a robber. She was a police officer.
You're wrong. Oh? No, she's a police officer.
There you go.
It's true? But how did she lie about that without setting off the lie detector?
Don't play dumb, Q. As I'm sure you know, and I'm sure everyone in this room knows, the lie detector isn't infallible. It has an obvious mistake.
Oh my gosh. Oh, sorry. I'm dying.
Half-truths. Exactly.
We only have a minute and a half left on the clock.
Well, there's only one thing I'd like everyone to do. Please say I've never used half-truths. I'll go first. I've never used half-truths. Oh. I've never used half-truths. I've never used half-truths.
I've never used half-truths.
Well, everyone's a freaking liar. None of us knew what to say after that. The whole hour seemed to be completely wasted. I shouldn't have been so surprised. Why did I assume that the only one who could outsmart the lie detector? I was an idiot, so of course everyone else had figured it out. They'd probably figured it out before I did. The clock ticked down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2...
Well, reached the fourth mark. Chapter 4. The vote.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't know why I'm saving, since this game seems to be going by pretty fast. But I'll do it just in case. Alright. The warden. The time has run out, everyone. I hope that you have decided wisely. As part of the voting options, you will also have the option of choosing yourself, just in case you would like to be heroic. Okay.
Wait, we can do that?
It's tempting. You should have said that at the beginning, Warden. Then maybe they wouldn't be in this mess. Wait a minute, they? Yes, my cover was blown just a few seconds ago, Q. The truth is that I am not one of you. I have never been charged with a crime. I am in fact a guard at this prison. I was included among the group to make sure none of you got violent. I'm glad it wasn't an issue. That truth was not supposed to be revealed until after the voting was over, but E figured it out. I may have given out too many hits.
Oh, Wait, if we hadn't figured it out, and we voted for you to die...
I was never going to die. It was a trap.
That's a trap! What? What do you mean? I think I know.
Even though you three are all innocent, if you had sentenced one of our guards to death, obviously that would have to be punished. Then we would have gone to execute all three of you.
You crappers!
Why are you so mad, Jay? None of this was fair to begin with. I'm not surprised it was really like this. Your choices are J. Cleared of sending aid to North Korea. Q. Cleared of being an accomplice to murder. And E. Cleared of shooting at a police officer. Please vote wisely. Oh, great. Alright.
I had no idea who to vote for. Maybe myself? No, I didn't want to die. But then again, who would I vote for otherwise? E and Q both seemed to have been telling the truth. V was the one who had been lying, and yet both of them admitted to telling half-truths. And yet, I also told half-truths. Who could it be? Who could it possibly be? I was out of time. I had to vote. Oh, okay. I mean, Q, no, I don't. I mean, she never really seemed to. Although she told half truths, I mean, she seemed to be an accomplice in everything. But like, if she was the getaway driver, no, there was never really any fire at her at all, though, which maybe was pretty good. But oh, great. The caution to send aid to North Korea. Oh man. But yeah, her thing, E's thing never really added up. I mean, she fought, well, but it's true though. I don't know. Sure, why not E? I don't know. 3 prisoners voted for E. E was executed on January 1st, 20, but I'm probably wrong. Her last words were, "Remember my sacrifice. Remember my sacrifice. You owe me." They didn't find the guilty one. Dang it! I've been left off the hook. I was free, but I was racked with guilt at executing an innocent person based on nothing. I had an overwhelming feeling that there really had been a guilty one, thinking over everything that had happened the past hour. Knowing that everyone had been using half-truths from the beginning, I knew I'd made a mistake. But it was too late. There was no way I could do it all over. I had to live with my choice. Well, there it goes. Alright, hold on. I'm gonna go back here. And I'm gonna choose someone else. But we know, innocent. Really? It was Q? Unless no matter what happens. Oh, that's probably what it is. I bet it's no matter what happens, everyone's innocent. And that, oh, the guilty one was the officer. And yeah. 3 prisoners voted for Q. Q was executed on January 1st, 2011. Her last words were, "The system is broken." They didn't find the guilty one. Yeah, okay. Let's see then. Going for myself, I guess. All 3 prisoners voted for J. J was executed, da da da. Her last words were, "It makes me happy to know the others will go free." They didn't find the guilty one. Okay, yeah. Well, that sucks. That says a lot. Huh. So in the end, we were all innocent. But they had to meet their quota. So they had to pretend like one of us was guilty. Man, that sucks. Gosh, alright. Well, that's pretty cool. That's a pretty nice game, actually. I've never played like one of those novel type games where you're just listening to people talk and you're not really doing much interaction besides from reading. But I will say for a free game, that was pretty good. I did, yeah, before I played it, I did saw that it had positive reviews, so I knew it was gonna be pretty good. But I don't think it was gonna be that good though. I was locked in that whole time though. Yeah, that was Prison of Lies. If you want to play this game yourself, even though you know what's gonna happen, just who knows. If you want to play it for yourself, it's on Steam for free, so there's really no cost in you playing it. Go, just look at the description, look at the developers, the publishers, to support them in any way you can. Yeah, and I guess without further ado, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace!